Having a good time so far?
All right, well, let's not wasting time. I want to introduce to you author Jay Bonansinga. He's written several thrilling books, including Sinking of the Eastlands, and some Walking Dead ones, maybe I've heard of. Rise of the Governor, Road to Woodbury, and Fall of the Governor. Welcome, Jay Bonansinga.
Thank you for having me. Well, hey, Jay, we understand you have a very important life event happening in the next week or so. You want to tell everybody?
Yeah, I'm getting married. Thank you. I met her here.
It's awesome.
It did cross my mind to have a zombie wedding when I was there today.
We have a special gift for you. Take a look at this, guys.
Cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
So this is a wedding cake. Let's show us the video. Take a look more, describe a little bit.
Well, the cake we have down here at the bottom is one of our specialties that we have in our shop. It's called our Vino Berry cake. It is a cake made with wine in it. With a raspberry filling. So the guys from the shop cooked it up. And then we also have our cupcake zombie on the top. And the storyline behind that is the crazy doctor, crazy baker, injects a toxin into the cupcake before he delivers it. And then when a human bites into it, they turn into zombies and fight back.
Alright, so when a human bites into it, you turn into a zombie. So do it on your honeymoon.
Alright.
That piece is for you just to keep. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations. How did you do?
Thank you. She photographed me. She's a photographer. So I was playing in a band and she photographed me. Yeah, it was really cool. She does offer photos. She does mine. She's been in New York or the Washington.
Before we get started with the questions, I just want to let all you guys know, any of you have questions, step up to the mic at any time and we'll turn it over to you because it's your con.
This is an honor to get questions from you. I want to ask you questions.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just kidding. No. This is you're the star. I want to ask you, so your books, like the one of the things that really stands out to me is they're disgusting. They're very sensually vivid, and it's so imaginatively creative the way that you describe these things, and I can almost smell it.
It's a compliment. Like a horror writer is on the few genres. You like ruined showers for me, or I will never ever look at a wedding cake the same way. You are totally sick. You're disgusting. You just make me puke.
In particular, it's so vivid, and I can really see and even almost smell these things when you read them. And unlike to a great degree than most things I've ever read. And so what I want to know is like, do you sit and meditate on the scene and visualize all the little details, or how do you evoke that?
Yeah. I'll give you a little writer's secret. How the sausage is made.
Yes.
There's a thing called triangulating senses. You ever heard of it? It's where you have, in a Walking Dead book, maybe a character will go into a home that's deserted. It's been sitting deserted for a year or something. We're not sure what's in there, and it's mysterious and suspenseful. So when you triangulate the senses, you literally house with them as they're walking in on the page. We're smelling it. Is that what
Let's use this one.
check?
Can you guys hear him?
There. Okay. Is that better? All right. Thank you. I missed all my brilliant jokes and humor, and there was nobody laughing. I couldn't figure out why nobody was laughing. Yeah, triangulating the senses. Jason was asking about the smell and texture of the brain matter that spews from the. So I was joking with somebody earlier today. I probably am the one author now who knows more synonyms for brains and gore and brain matter spewing from skulls and projectiles flying through the sky. But triangulating the senses is kind of a wonderful way to do what you were alluding to. You have the person walk into that deserted house, and then you simply ask yourself, if there are any avid writers out there, you simply ask yourself 3 sensory pieces of information right off the bat. What does it smell like? What does it look like? What does it sound like? And when you get good at it after a while, you become a craftsperson who can do it subtly, so it's not obvious. But when they walk into that deserted house, you might have a crunch of something under their shoe, and you might have them smell ammonia. And you're doing this all throughout the book. And it's just a sort of like smell-o-vision adds to the suspension of disbelief, and makes zombies even more possible if you can taste and smell and feel and hear. That was way long. That was like a grad school class. I'm sorry.
How many writers?
How many writers out there? Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
So, I listen to the audiobooks. Have you listened to the
I
audiobooks?
love the audiobooks. Fred Berman,
Fred Berman
is incredible.
narrator.
Especially Woodbury, I thought he got the voices so beautifully.
He stays in
Did
character.
have you heard him?
Yes, the audiobook, so his voice is sort of inexorably tied to the books for me. It's great.
Yes, his voice, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. He does a fantastic job. One of the things that we were talking about, Jason and I, was with the fall of the devil. This is the first time you've recounted some events from the comic books as well. So you kind of crossed paths. And, I was wondering, did you spend a lot of time researching that and reading the comics and trying to be true to the comics? Was that important for Robert as he was directing you with that book in particular?
That's an excellent question because it's yes and no and yes and no. Because yes, I meticulously combed the comic book. Every corner of it, and this isn't hyperbole, every corner of every frame I made notes on. Little outlets in the wall, what they look like, tattoos on skin, like a hole, like a spider in the corner of a frame, everything. And I meticulously tried to recreate it in prose form, which is not easy because you really have to translate it. A comic is closer to a film, as we've been talking about. A book, prose, is your mind is doing more of the work. Your mind's eye. So when there's a tiny little crack in the wall in a corner of a frame, I'm gonna use that and then talk about the peeling wallpaper and the crunch of shoes on warped floorboards. It just suggests all this sensory stuff. But to make a long story short, the Robert part of the question. Does Robert insist on it? Robert completely leaves me alone.